Welcome back, everyone. Illumination expands its joyful animated universe with minions and monsters. Local DC film expert and Nova Community College professor Dr. Byran Brown joins us to discuss old-school Hollywood filmmaking techniques and how they relate to minions and monsters and classic Hollywood monster films. Thank you so much for joining me. I feel like classic monster films and minions and monsters, people are like, what? But there really is a connection there.
Oh, absolutely. One of the things that's so wonderful about the Minions is not just their goofiness, not just their ways of getting into crazy adventures, but to draw back on the history of film. And that's one of the great things about this new movie is there are so many references to Charlie Chaplin, to Buster Keaton, to Harold Lloyd. It's things that bring my heart such joy because they're relying on some of the things that these old classic silent filmmakers and comedians really use to entertain audiences.
I love that, and it's so cool that the new Minions movie does this. What would you say, what should people keep an eye out for when they're watching the movie?
Well, one of the things to keep an eye out for is there are all these great references to things that old people like me can pay attention to.
Old people like you? No. Anyway, continue. Sorry.
But we can pick up on these wonderful nuances that the filmmakers have put in there. And I love that when they reference a trip to the moon, for instance, something that I would hope that everyone's familiar with, but maybe not. You know, it was one of the most innovative films for its time that brought in not only special effects, but had this innovation of editing to really tell a visual story. When we look at Charlie Chaplin and his great film Modern Times, where he's taken through all the gears of this factory, it lends itself to the chaos and the mess that the Minions get into. Right. So the more people are exposed to this, my hope is that they look back at these old comedians and they're just as inspired by the risks that they took.
Well, I think it's so cool that they're doing this because kids can obviously enjoy the movie at face value, and then adults, and by extension, like people passionate about film, they can say, oh my gosh, I see this or that, and maybe it'll inspire people to go and look at the old classics.
Yes. And the great thing about the old classics is the comedy holds up. It's one of the things that they really strive for as these filmmakers was to make the comedy universal, because they didn't have to worry about dialogue. They had to tell the story visually, and they had to express their emotions exaggerated with this white grease paint on their faces and black grease paint around their eyes so that they could really highlight those features. And when you look at them today, even the littlest kids will watch this and they'll be amazed by what happens. They'll laugh. My children laughed terribly at Buster Keaton riding his motorcycle in Sherlock Jr. and going across bridges that collapse and everything. That's my true hope for what Minions can inspire in children and adults.
I love that, and I see we have some cool Minions gear on here, and some some throwbacks to old classics. We got Charlie Chaplin on the table right now. Very cool.
Well, the reason why I wanted to make sure that Chaplin piece was in here was, today we're used to all of this merchandising, the Minions cups, the dolls. Charlie Chaplin really had that in the very beginning as well. So that piece in particular was something that fans would buy, children would buy, to have a little piece of Charlie Chaplin to play around with at their homes.
Very cool. So you know what? The movie magic continues throughout the years and years. And before we wrapped up, I wanted to ask, part of the movie is about the transition from silent films to sound films or talkies. So talk about how that happens in the movie and then how it relates to what happened in reality.
Okay. Well, reality is much more complex than the movie portrays. But the thing about the transition to sound was it was not only an innovation, it was a challenge. It was a challenge for everyone. These performers had gone from having exaggerated emotions, like I said, but they were now forced into sound, and a lot of them didn't make the transition because they had thick accents, or they might have had a big, strong persona but a very weak voice, so it didn't really match. And then you have people like Charlie Chaplin, who did make the transition, but much later. But he left behind his tramp character because he said if the tramp ever spoke, the magic of the tramp would go away, which I think is very interesting. And that's what I love about the Minions calling back on this, is because the Minions, they have their own language, which most of the time we don't understand what they're saying to one another, but they rely on their motions. And once we kind of figure out what they're saying, maybe it loses that magic.
Right, right. Well, thank you so much. This was so fun to talk about. For more information on the Minions movie, we have the website on the screen right now. Thank you again.
Thank you, Ellen.
Absolutely. And stay tuned, everybody. Coming up, school's out, but that doesn't mean the learning stops. When we comes back, we have more information on Living Local DMV.